Good evening. Thank you very much. We've had a wonderful day today, and right now I understand that I would like to go back to square one and rethink everything again. As of today, well, I can see that you can see my presentation. I'd like to introduce our working group, what we're doing, and probably well, this will be my key message that the working group of AIPM has been established and what initiatives we're going to present. Can you see my slides? Yes, we can see your slides. No problem. All right. Many of you are familiar with the Association of International Pharmaceutical Manufacturers. Well, more than 60 international companies are members of AIPM. That means more than 80% of the entire pharmaceutical market. Within AIPM, we have two groups. One of them is our group on real world evidence, and the second working group is called digitalization in health care. This is also a very important issue for the healthcare system. And as for my RWE working group, I should say that we're working together with the digitalization and healthcare working group because uh, uh, um, uh, RWD are important in both cases. Well, there were several presentations devoted to this issue. And of course, from real world data, we moved to real world evidence, but real world data, well, are the basis for the development of the healthcare system and for the development of pharmaceutical companies. This is a very important aspect. That's the time of new paradigms, and I'd like to draw attention to this. Well, I'd like to also draw your attention to our RWD working group. 15 pharmaceutical companies are members of our working group. You can see them here. Many companies develop RWE, not just on the global level, but also in the Russian Federation. And you can see the understanding of RWD or WE is important from different sides, from different angles, and they are closely linked to the development of new digital technologies. When the working group was formed, the first thing we did was to analyze the situation and how we look at RWE in Russia. What are the needs? What are the trends? What is meant by RWE? What kind of environment is that? And now we can see that all RWE community has been formed. Well, if I may, and as for today's conference, it is the confirmation of the fact that there has been real development of RWE in Russia. RWE is a very topical issue in Russia. It's very relevant, but over the last year, there was a major leap forward. And I think this is a new trend. And this is accompanied by the rapid development of digital technologies. We have more sources of data. We have the accumulation of knowledge for us. For the pharmaceutical industry, we identified several important aspects. One of them is partnership. That's what Maria has already mentioned today as far as regulatory initiatives are concerned. And within our working group, we have already been working as the multidisciplinary team. Well, healthcare professionals and lawyers, there should be a close partnership between them. So we support the proposal regarding the further partnership in the development of these aspect, we also paid attention to other important issues which were raised today at this conference. Well, RWE as a system of knowledge. Well, the quality of data, the quality of results. Only in this case, it's possible to achieve our goals that we are facing today. Only in this case, we can make better decisions in the healthcare system. And so these are the key aspects I'd like to draw your attention to, also identifying these trends and needs. And we came up with several initiatives. Well, we used the systemic approach, and here you can see the strategic map, preliminary strategic map. Some of the issues have been just penciled in. We're still at the stage of identifying goals and developing strategic initiatives important for further development. So we identified 4 key areas. Well, training in the field of development, partnership, training and development processes, partnership, and the top level is values at the very top of the slide. Of course, everything is linked to knowledge, to improving approaches based on RWE. It's a really complex system, not just RWE, but also other needs that we have at this point. And one of the most important aspects is to improve the approaches related to synchronization of RWE and digital technologies. Just a couple of words about some initiatives, well, of AIPM and the working group. Well, I think next time I will have more information, and maybe most of you will participate in our initiatives we are planning to implement right now. But one of the initiatives is unification of the approaches within the pharmaceutical industry. Within this initiative, we are planning to introduce changes to the AIPM code. Well, Chapter 5 is devoted to the study of pharmaceutical products, and basically we will develop the special RWE guidelines in this field, well, including demands, principles, and the methodology to ensure quality control, and thus it will allow us to gather high quality RWE, also the issues of non-interventional studies, NIS, well, that's also part of RWE, and naturally we would like to have enough resources for the development of such areas as new technologies and, of course, RWE, that is the foundation and the key to solving many tasks. And naturally, well, you can see one of the articles I recommend you read at your leisure time. It contains the detailed information. Well, it hasn't yet been published yet, but it will be published in the fourth quarter. Several pharmaceutical companies have combined their knowledge, resources, and competencies in the field of RWE. It is in Russian, and it says about how we can develop new directions, well, what aspects should be taken into account if we want to achieve high quality results. Another important project I'd like to draw attention is the educational project. And basically, from theory to practice is the motto of the project. Well, the idea is how to study a high quality publication. So you should have specific knowledge, specific skills. So we hope to raise important theoretical questions related to RWD and RWE. A lot has been mentioned about this today, and also we hope that this will be our practical contribution. What should be taken into account at this stage? How should we work with RWD from the very start? And basically, this shows the difference in the field of RWD as compared to clinical trials. We hope it will be an open format. Everyone will be able to have access to this initiative. Colleagues, that's it. Thank you very much for your attention and stay healthy. Thank you.